Bye, Mr. Zor. Hi, river. Okay, so let's do another album review. This is the Oil of Every Pearl's Uninsides. Bit of a mouthful, I know, bit of a pearlful. This is the debut album by the Scottish producer and electronic musician Sophie. I was inclined to love this going in because I had a dog called Sophie who I loved very much. And even though this isn't quite as good as my dead dog, it's still pretty freaking good. I mean, this is one of the best things I've heard in a while, actually. So let's go through some of the tracks. First of all, you've got the opening track, It's Okay to Cry, which has got a sort of a new romantic vibe to it. It sort of sounds like Culture Club off their mash at 5 AM in a German techno club. But with really gnarly production, and that's just foreplay. The next track is when we really get into it, and that's Pony Boy. We're still in the German techno club, but now your vision's gone all cubist because of all the drugs, and you can't tie your shoelaces, and the DJ has turned into an elephant. That sounds shit, actually, and this isn't. Then there's Face Shopping. This is like one of those really awful nightmares you have, but it's also really cool. Like you wake up and think that was awful. God, what terrible. That was the stuff of nightmares. But I've got to write it down. There was body swapping. There was like 80s visual effects, like in Tron. There was Michael Gira from Swans. There was noise rock, and a bunch of weird sex that I'd rather forget, but can't. What a banger. Then there's Is It Cold in the Water, which of course I love the title, but it's not a lovely swim, or maybe I should say float, as I am floating down the Pi River, as so much as a scary drown. And what else is there? There is also It's Not Okay. Whoa. Whoa. It's Not Okay really is not okay. It's like the Prodigy's Experience album converted to electroshock therapy. And then there's the final track, Whole New World. And listening to this, it really is possible to imagine a new world, soundtracked by banging beats, industrial noise, fire alarms, distorted vocals,
and existential dread.
If this song were the world, we'd all be inside a German techno club, and none of us would ever be able to leave. Of course, eventually we'd succumb to dehydration and die a slow and painful death, but the tunes. As I said at the beginning, this is one of the best albums I've heard in a long time. I just think it's so great that there are people making music like this out in the world. I mean, music's constantly evolving and none of us truly know exactly where it's going, but listening to The Oil of Every Pearl's Uninsides, it's like discovering and listening to a missing link from the future. Mr. Zor! Mr. Zor!